from the Never-Ending Story, and it's more like just kind of that moment where, like, at the end of the movie, he gets to ride on Falcor, the luck dragon. He's just going, yeah! It's just that feeling. And the first song, one of the first songs I wrote, is kind of wanted to get that feeling of just like riding a giant dragon dog. I don't know if I've got there yet though. We finished the EP and then we had it printed like in, it would have been almost a year ago, and it was one of those kind of, oh, we've done this, and I'd moved on to the next thing, and then I just thought, oh, you know, we should really look at getting it a proper distribution for it, because as of then there was no way that anyone outside Perth could get it. Like, could get it in from us at gigs and like 2 record stores, and that was it, on CD. And so I told now manager Josh to say, here's a list of a few labels that would be great to get in contact with, who I really like, see if they will do some sort of distro deal, like some release. And on the top of the list was Mullet Records, who were just awesome, and like Justin works really hard, and so we sent one email and it was to them, and he got back to us like a couple days later, and that was it. Yeah, so the band setup for live is Troy on drums, Tom on MPC and hand sonic, which is where he plays his congas. Then we've got Alex on guitar, which is a very standard. He's had his guitar and he's plugged it into his amp, and I haven't seen pedals apart from his 2 that he uses, and I think it's good to have that stripped back because everything else is very, you know, complicated. It's nice to have a nice stripped back sounding guitar. And then there's Jack on, who plays a little fatty, a Moog little fatty, and he plays the bass synth. And then me on Prophet 08 and vocals. Oh, and Alex also does backing vocals. That's it. The thing is, the future, in terms of like the sound we're going for in the future, we seem to be moving in a more, I can't really say organic, but the kind of 4 to the floor disco boogie funk that I initially started with, that can't keep me going forever, and I've been kind of writing in different styles recently. I've been enjoying my my late 80s soft rock, and well, that actually kind of works, double denim. That's what I'm kind of going for at the moment in my writing, and just a few curveballs. I mean, that's in my DJ sets. I never like to keep it strictly house or disco. I, you know, throw anything, like something nostalgic, something you wouldn't expect. I think that's what the next single is going to be for a lot of people. It might be very polarizing. we've only been compared to like 80s bands. Like I'd love to hear some like contemporaries to be compared to. Miami Horror, that's probably a good one. In terms of the way we formed as well, it's a very similar kind of vibe. Well, the thing is, I think the way that a lot of those bands produced, a lot of modern practices work into those recordings, and like things that makes things so much more helpful seem to end up like using programs like Ableton and using plugins and for mixing as well as for instruments. Like, we tended to steer away from that entirely and use Pro Tools as a empty palette, and recorded everything in using analog gear. And I think we worked with Matt Giovangelo, who's also plays drums in Voltaire Twins, and I set out from the beginning, we wanted it to be really a band album and not just like done, you know, on a computer, and we tracked it that way, and he mixed it keeping those kind of earlier references of you know, your BB&Q band and your D Train in mind for tracks like My Love, and for It's Okay, I think the reference I used to that would have been probably Great Southern Land by Icehouse, especially for that bass bit. Like, so there's a lot of old when you use older references as opposed to like the modern like brick wall kind of compressed referencing, you can end up with something that doesn't sound very 2011.
I want you everywhere now until the end of time, because you're in my mind. Don't try to get rid of me.